We need to talk about the Super Bowl.
You do realize that the Super Bowl halftime show is getting talked about more than the game.
Yep. The game was so
terrible.
Also, I think important to note, it was the most viewed halftime show in history.
Most viewed halftime show in history.
Yes.
This is what I learned. Biracial men simply do not perform well when Kendrick Lamar is around.
Oh.
Patrick Mahomes, J. Cole, Drake.
Oh.
When Kendrick Lamar, he's a biracial man's kryptonite.
Yes.
They just don't perform well. What did you think of the performance, Schulz?
I was no. Like, I'm actually trying to be objective about it. I'm actually trying to be objective about it. I think the best way that I spoke to a bunch of Kendrick fans about it, because to me, I didn't really recognize some of the songs. So my first initial reaction was choreography is really interesting, and I liked the videography. I liked how it was shot. Right? It was kind of more simple. You know, like sometimes the sets are really elaborate. People are flying all over the place. It was more simple, but choreography and videography were really cool. I was like, okay, that's cool. I didn't really recognize the songs, some of the songs.
He changed it up.
Sure. And then I had a lot of people saying that they were like Kendrick fans. Because I asked some of my like Kendrick fans, like, what did you think about it? And this is the reaction they all gave me. They were like, man, he didn't do the right songs. He didn't do the right songs. And the way I interpret that is that these are people who've been riding for Kendrick for 10 years. They love Kendrick. Kendrick is the greatest. And this year he proved he's the greatest. He knocks Drake off of the #1 spot. And here's the moment where the world is going to get to see why you've loved Kendrick for 10 years and why you say he's the greatest. And then in that moment, he does a set that is kind of really more geared towards the super fans and not geared towards the casuals. And I think some of the super fans at least were like, man, I really wanted the world to know why I love this guy and why I think he's so great. And he didn't do the set that lets them know that he is that.
I think that is a very fair take. I agree with a lot of what you're saying. It was definitely a show geared toward the super fans. I'm gonna give my objective opinion before I give my personal one. Objectively, it's hard for me to say he didn't do the right songs. And the reason I say that is this has nothing to do with my personal take. My personal take is I wanted the set list to be a little bit different. Objectively, I say it's hard for me to say he didn't do the right songs because of the fact that his GNX is about to be #1 again this week. He sold 230,000 copies of GNX. The fucking Not Like Us streams went through the roof. Matter of fact, I'm lying. He's about to have the #1, 2, and 3 song on Billboard. He's about to have the #1, 2, and 3 song on the Billboard Top 10, and GNX shot back to #1, 230,000 copies. So that lets me know he gained enough new people that watched this show and were intrigued to go out there and say, yo, who is this Kendrick Lamar guy? To go out there and let me go buy GNX again.
Yeah.
These 3 songs, Not Like Us is about to be, Not Like Us is going to be #1. I think Luther is #2. I forgot what they say the 3rd song is going to be. So clearly,
Probably Squabble.
I don't know. So between the Grammys and the Super Bowl, Kendrick garnered enough fans in a week, enough new fans in a week that this probably was the best performance. Maybe it was provocative enough for the Super Bowl. I was talking to somebody yesterday and he was like, well, I don't think it was provocative at all. I said, because you're a Kendrick fan. Let's look at it in the context of who's watching this game. Let's look at it in the context of what this is, the Super Bowl. This is provocative for the Super Bowl.
I didn't think it was provocative at all.
Really?
Actually,
it was political at all?
I thought it was the opposite. Like, again, I'm not reading into all the symbolism, so I'm looking at like really surface value. What I looked at it is I was like, there's American flags everywhere, and he's just going, America's the best. Look how awesome America is, and America's the best place in the world, and I'm proud to be American. Like, that. You have to understand, the people that don't know his songs, like, they're not like discerning each and every single lyric that he's saying in that moment. They're just seeing red, white, and blue and an American flag plastered and a guy rapping. So to me, I'm like, shit, that's Bruce Springsteen.
Andrew got a point, because I saw one white dude say, man, America is so back.
Exactly.
So to me, Kendrick is showing pride for the American flag at the Super Bowl. And I was like, yeah, but here's the thing. This is American pride. All he's simply saying is black people are American too. That's it. Like, yo, black men are Americans. Not only are we Americans, we built this country. You know who said that too? Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump said that verbatim. Black people built this country.
African Americans built this nation. We built this nation. You know, you're just starting to get real credit for that, okay? I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to get, you built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it. Bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right?
So when he does things like have the black guys in red, white, and blue, and they're in the shape of the American flag.
Yeah.
And then there was the part where they was leaning over. He was like, yeah, this country was built on our backs. We're Americans too, like it or love it. Now, my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I think that the story he told was a great story. I loved having Samuel L. Jackson out there basically being Uncle Sam. And when you look at when it first started, you can see that the set is a video game controller, right? So meaning there's a game being played. And Samuel L. Jackson comes out and basically is telling Kendrick, you better come out here and play the game right. You know what this is. This is the Super Bowl. You're supposed to come out here and play it safe, blah, blah, blah. Kendrick is giving a middle finger to all of that. That's what I liked. I also liked the fact that, well, that's the things I did like about it, but this is what I wanted. The set list to be, I wanted 3 songs added to the set list. 3 songs. The freestyle he did in the beginning, I wouldn't have did that. I would have started off with Black of the Berry. Have you ever heard the first verse of Black of the Berry? Pull up Black of the Berry, Taylor. Just pull up the lyrics to Black. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull them up on my phone. I'm just gonna read these to you, Schulz, and I wanna see your reaction. And I want you to think to yourself, if you was sitting at home watching the Super Bowl and you heard a guy say, I'm the biggest hypocrite of 2015. Once I finish this, witnesses will convey just what I mean. Been feeling this way since I was 16. Came to my senses. You never liked this anyway. Fuck your friendship. I meant it. I'm African American. I'm African. I'm black as the moon. Heritage of a small village. Pardon my residence. Came from the bottom of mankind. My hair is nappy. My dick is big. My nose is round and wide. You hate me, don't you? You hate my people. Your plan is to terminate my culture. You're fucking evil. I want you to recognize that I'm a proud monkey. You vandalized my perception but can't take style from me. And this is more than confession. I mean, I might press the button just so you know my discretion. I'm guarding my feelings. I know that you feel it. You sabotage my community, making a killer. You made me a killer. Emancipation of a real nigga. You see your eyes? No. You see your eyes? Imagine him on the car.
Yeah.
And the beat is so hard and so high energy and so menacing. And then right after that, you hear an explosion or something. And then you hear, all my life I had to fight. And then he goes into all right. And then after he does all right, Samuel L. Jackson comes out and goes, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're scaring America.
Yeah.
Stop it right now. Next thing I know, you're going to have your homeboys out here representing Compton.
Yeah. And then boom.
If Pyrus and Crips all got along, you probably gun me down by the end of this song. Yeah. After that, I don't care what you do. Because you done got the energy so high, you can take it anywhere.
The first one is you're going to get all like the right-wing media looking at it.
Say, the white people going to be scared as hell.
But that's what I didn't like.
No, here's the thing.
Fox News.
White people won't be scared because white people don't understand rap the first time they hear it.
Oh, they would have understood that. No,
they wouldn't have understood the words. I'm telling, bro.
He said, I'm African.
No, afterwards I said the blogs would do it.
But the Black and Bear, he says, I'm African American.
They
would have understood that.
That's what they think that you're saying all the time. Like, right? Like they just don't
and they
get
would have
it.
understood the gang shit because there was a part with Samuel Jackson, like, you brought your little homies with you.
No, the second 2 things you said make perfect sense. And I got like a little goosebumps. It was sick to even hear that. I love that. Yeah. I didn't even know that you know how to produce shows and stuff. It was like really impressive.
Yeah, that was actually.
That was like really fucking impressive.
That was a better set list than Kendrick.
That was like fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I was in that. I was like, yo, keep going.
Listen, this is what we do.
What do you mean what we do? When have we done that?
What, produce shows?
I forget that you like used to put on like
Parties?
events,
Yeah,
parties and
absolutely.
shit. Okay. Anyway, so but back to the idea.
You do those 3 songs.
Yeah.
Wherever you want to go after that, cool.
You just go.
Now me, I stand on it. I still wouldn't have done Not Like Us. But once again, this is my personal opinion. Objectively, hard to say he shouldn't have did Not Like Us because Not Like Us is back at #1 this week in the motherfucking country. The screams are through the fucking roof.
The song's incredible.
If he did it how you just produced it and then added like his little teasers in, that would have been
I see. That's what that's the part of the show I didn't like. He gave Drake too much light.
That was the other other thing that I would say is
keep saying that.
like look at this visual. Like
It's amazing.
These visuals, I hate this shot. So
There's not enough color.
this shot is great.
Aesthetically, 10 for 10.
So the
amazing.
videography was really good. The live direction. I mean, here are we playing like what is it? Monday morning quarterback.
Audio sucked.
Well, okay.
I think that's what took away from the show.
You think the audio sucks?
Yeah, it
not
wasn't,
the audio.
I didn't think the audio
that
sucked.
clear. Like usually rapping has to be clear, especially if it's a live performance.
Okay.
Like the music was a little bit too high for his vocals.
What?
I don't agree
I
with
feel
that.
that way. And I had it on surround sound, and I'm telling you,
Everybody's speakers are different, so you're hearing different things. I didn't think that was the issue. I think that the major issue in the stadium is that a lot of people are just not familiar with all of his stuff. I was shocked at how few people know about the beef with Drake.
Yeah.
Like
Really?
I thought that we live in a bubble.
What few people?
No. I'm telling you, like we live in a bubble, and I think sometimes what happens is because Black culture is such a dominant force in America, like it drives American culture in so many ways. We think that when something happens in Black culture, everybody knows about it, and like it. People just didn't know. Like I had people I was watching Super Bowl with be like, so wait, what was the deal? Like him and Drake had beef.
So
like
it's 300 and how many people in America? 40 million
20
people,
million.
billions across the world. You're absolutely right. I was having a conversation with somebody earlier, and I told him the same thing. I was like, 20 million people in the country can know about something, and there's 300 that don't know what the fuck is going on. And we're talking about the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There's not. Name one other thing in America that brings people together like the Super Bowl.
Game of Thrones.
This many people?
Yeah.
This is 100. How many people? 140 million people watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think that's why his numbers shot up, because it's like so many people were just explaining this beef, and now they're like trying to catch up on the beef.
I think it could be a combination of that, but I also think it's people that actually watched this and was like, "Yo, that was really good." If you don't know anything about Kendrick,
100%. I'm not trying to discredit it. Like there are people that are going to see him and then love it. There are going to be people who see it and then like, oh, I want to learn more about this guy. There are going to be people who are fans of his and then go that haven't listened to him for a few weeks and go, oh, I want to go back and listen. 100%.
I actually would love to feel that. I would love to be able to watch this show with
Look
no
at this
expectation.
shot. I thought that
Can you imagine watching this with nothing? If you don't know anything about this, just completely ignorant to who Kendrick is,
I think you would,
to Drake.
I think you would be severely disappointed.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Not intrigued at all?
No.
I
I'm
don't
just,
know, bro.
Because that's what people told me that didn't really know about it. They're like, yeah, I guess it kind of looked cool, but it didn't. What I heard also was like, it didn't feel big. Like,
Oh, I see what you're saying. Because we knew the story. Like, we know the backstory to it.
so real quick. So the thing about the Drake being mentioned a lot, I do agree with you. Like, if you started out the way that you're suggesting, you don't need to tease the Drake song. It was like the whole thing was like teasing to this moment.
I think it's the media though, like how they.
Yeah,
were
but-
It was not the media. It's because what Kendrick was doing.
But he's clearly not doing it for the media because he chose to do songs that aren't as popular as some of his old hits. So clearly he's down to do whatever he wants and not what maybe the casuals want.
Yeah.
But it was like constantly teasing it. Here it comes. Oh, and it's gonna come, and it's gonna come, and then it just felt like the whole thing.
He did it only twice.
No, he did not.
No, he did it twice, and then
2 teasers. And
He did
And then
two
he did
diss
it.
records.
Yeah.
it felt like the whole
they didn't
thing
know that,
was
though.
a.
He did Euphoria.
I know, but like you just said, like the people that didn't know anything about the
I'm talking
diss.
about me. I'm talking about me as a fan. He did Euphoria.
It felt like the whole thing was a Drake diss, and not Kendrick's halftime performance. And that is when you look back on it in 20 years, you know what I mean? Like, are you going to look back and be like, oh man, I dedicated my halftime performance to that guy, instead of, oh, I just closed it out with the big song.
Because he also
I
played
think-
songs from Gen X.
I think it's us and the public is partially to blame for that, because the whole conversation leading up to it is he going to perform that
That's
song?
why everybody should just listen to me.
I loved how he did it. No, I loved how he did it. Like, he didn't say the line that clearly you're not allowed to say on TV. He said the A minor line because it's double entendre, so you could say it. I liked how he did that part of it, but dedicating it. And then here's the other thing that's kind of funny. Because it's so dedicated now, and because he never talks about his symbolism, he can't control the narrative of what people think he's trying to say. So now people are finding even more Drake symbolism. The A on the chain, which someone told me is like part of his actual record.
I don't believe that.
No, it is. It's a logo.
It's PG
for-
Lang.
It's PG Lang.
But it's not that everybody was talking about the lowercase a is A minor.
But listen,
But
but my point that I'm trying to say is that lowercase a is PG Lang.
That's right.
But people who don't know that are like, and you know, the internet nerds are like, oh, there's another shot at Drake. And now, because you don't control the narrative, and because there's all this symbolism, now the game over.
But he knows that.
Let me just get it all out. The game over at the end, when that's in the crowd or whatever like that.
That was definitely a shot at Drake.
Or it's game over in terms of how he's playing the game. But the fact that you're interpreting every bit of symbolism in there as a shot at Drake makes it about Drake and not about you.
I did not like hearing Baca and Chubbs in Party Name.
At the Super Bowl.
That's why I said for my set list, if I would have started with Black of the Berry, then went into All Right, and then went into Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah.
When I did Not Like Us, I would have did the hook, the horns, the hook, and I did the last verse.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, all of us was in chains. Oh, shit. Now you got Fox News angry. That was the other thing.
That's the
Fox
problem.
News did a whole thing. Now, nobody on Fox News talked about the political side of it.
That's what I'm saying.
Because nobody thought it was political in that way. Everybody thought he was just saying America's the best. That's how I interpreted it.
Fox News hated the performance. But Fox News actually, pull it up that clip, Taylor. There's a whole super bite of Fox News shitting on the performance.
They would have hated on it regardless.
They was like, I think it was Will Kane. Will Kane was like, they should have had Willie Nelson, then have Trump do a rally, and then have Shane Gillis do 5 minutes, and then he goes like this, best Super Bowl. I was like, what?
But Charlotte, quick, if he started the way your set list was, you don't think that would have been too provocative, too politicized? So now
They're
people
never inviting you back to
no,
do
but
it.
still, but then now everyone's only talking. It's going to be like almost if Kaepernick took a knee. Like everybody will just be talking about that, and it's going to overshadow the actual music.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why that wouldn't bother me. Taking a knee is a symbol, right? This is Kendrick's actual art. So if your art makes people have that conversation, cool. Yeah, that's his art. Like these are lyrics that are Black of the Berry is 10 years old.
Yeah, but don't you want to spread your art and more people listen to it? If you do that, that just turns off so many people. And now it's like, I'm never checking.
It's a conversation starter. Like this, play this clip. It's just all your art should do. If you're a disruptor, your art should start a conversation.
I think we would have heard DEI, DEI, DEI.
So bad, Trump was hoping someone would shoot him in the ear again.
Kendrick Lamar's 12 minutes of rap was basically a musical grudge match.
For me, it wasn't mass appeal.
The music itself is not broad enough or well known enough to reach generations.
Now that Trump's president, we have someone like Willie Nelson at halftime.
Let's put Carrie Underwood and Reba and Morgan Wallen. Let them have a go at it.
Okay, keep going.
A full-on Trump rally for the halftime show. Morgan Wallen or Zach Bryan plays us 2 or 3 songs. Trump comes out with an executive desk, signs 5 executive orders, and Shane Gillis takes us out with a 5-minute set. Best halftime show ever.
Listen, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I just wanted a couple more songs at it. Yeah, you give me those 3 songs. You start off because it got to be high energy because there was even a part where he was like, "Let's slow it down."
Yeah,
and I'm like, it was slow the whole time.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So you got to start super high energy, then you slow it down. You do your joints with scissor, then you come back with the TV off and all of that shit like that. End with Not Like Us. Boom.
But
that's it.
I think that's your own preference though, because even Peekaboo would say. Or people would say Peekaboo is a high energy song.
Yeah, but that came much later. The second half.
And also, they don't even know Black of the Berry. Like, he didn't know who Black of the Berry was.
He didn't know the song he did.
But
the intro that.
Those lyrics are so provocative. It's like, you
exactly.
Yeah.
We don't know the freestyle he did in the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, come with the energy. And Black of the Berry beat is so hard. But I enjoyed the show.
The tricky thing about the Super Bowl is that there's really only like 10 people on the planet that can do it.
Man, you are not lying.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't know who next year y'all getting Taylor Swift. I hope y'all know that.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear nothing when Jay-Z and Rock Nation roll out Taylor Swift for Santa Clara, California. Okay, just shut the fuck up and enjoy it.
Now, it's because basically, like, you need crossover universality with the music in order for it to, like, appease all the different demographics of people that are there. It can't be niche. Like, I was saying this even on Flagrant. Like, Bad Bunny might be the biggest artist in the world, but only having Bad Bunny do it, there's like 50-year-old white people from Green Bay that are going to go, what the fuck is this? There's 50-year-old black people from New Orleans that are going to go, what the fuck is this? Like...
they would have heard that shit.
But what we're saying,
I know, I'm joking.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess my point is,
Wonder ever done it?
pardon?
Stevie Wonder ever
He would
done it?
be. There's a perfect example. Like Stevie would murder it.
Stevie might be.
Beyonce can
She
murder
did it
it
already.
I'll be honest.
Bruno
And
Mars?
I thought it was
Bruno did it
crazy.
already.
I thought it was crazy, but like there were people that, and I literally chalked it up to racism. But like I thought Usher was the best that I've seen in recent years. It was like truly remarkable.
Really?
But there were people that were like, I didn't even know Usher that well or whatever. Like, which I thought was ridiculous. But in terms of true universality, you need Taylor Swift. You need like.
Beyonce.
I don't think you'll ever get true universality, but I think that you can get people who have such a wide enough reach that it'll feel like it.
So give me an example of some others. Like,
Taylor, Beyonce.
What about Katy Perry? Did she?
Katy did it already.
But Katy had
did it.
bops that were so big.
They love Katy.
Yo, and listen, Kanye.
By the way, there was some people.
Kanye
it's
could
never
do it.
gonna happen.
It's never gonna happen, but Kanye could have.
It's two people right now that could do it and shut shit
What
down.
about Chris Brown?
Who?
Both of them, Kanye and Chris.
No, I don't think Chris could.
What?
Post Malone do it?
Please, God, no.
No. I
He
think
would need a lot of features.
Please, God.
yeah, I think Post with
features.
doing collabs and features. Yeah.
Please, God, no.
No, I know.
Has Eminem done it?
Eminem could do
Yeah,
it,
he did it with Drake.
but he didn't do it by himself. He could do it by himself.
could do it by
Who
himself.
else? Coldplay? Could Coldplay do it?
Coldplay did it. All these people we're talking about have done it.
But
That's what I'm saying.
Why do you think Chris Brown could do it?
I don't think that the music is universal enough.
I think Chris Brown, I agree with Schulz.
but
But, here's the thing. I think
oh.
Chris Brown's show,
Yeah.
regardless
Sorry.
of who you are,
Sorry.
just watching him, you're like, God damn.
So here's the thing, real quick. There's a difference. There's an X factor here. Let me clarify the Chris Brown comments. Does Chris Brown, because we were just speaking musically, like, do the songs completely cross over to all demographics, right? No. But Chris Brown is such a
Amazing performer.
extraterrestrial talent
That's right.
that he could entertain and it would just be like mind-boggling.
That's right.
Now, there's a thing with like, rap doesn't have this. Rock and roll doesn't really have this. Country, I don't think really has this unless you have a really good voice. But like when you're singing, like if you're singing, an amazing voice cuts through. Whitney Houston sang the national anthem. I don't care what country you're from.
You're crying.
You're crying.
You're fucking crying.
Because Adele could do, and it just hits. It's different. And that's the X factor. The problem is with rap, if you don't know the song, you're not familiar with the song, you're not really picking up on the bars because you're looking at 5 different cameras and everything's switched around. There's a lot of other distraction going on. There's no X factor to cut through to someone who's unfamiliar with the music. With a singer that can sing their ass off.
There's only two rappers.
What I'm saying is Chris Brown also can sing his ass off.
Yes.
So that he is, and the
You would
dance-
enjoy the show.
He has
Oh my God, it would be
crossover.
incredible.
Now, don't get me wrong, he got a couple records that I think
Yeah,
are
he has
worldwide
pop
universal
music,
appeal, like
yeah.
the dum 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 dum.
Right.
And if feeling, what's that shit called?
It's interesting. I'm looking
I
at
know
the
you
list
said
of all-time performers. It really didn't start becoming A-list performers until maybe the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
And even then, the majority is still like multiple performers versus...
Michael Jackson headlined it by itself.
'Cause
Prince
it's
headlined
hard.
it by itself. Beyonce headlined it by herself. Katy Perry.
Bruno Mars was actually...
I thought Bruno was a collaboration. Maybe he was by
Red Hot
himself.
He did
Chili
do by
Peppers.
himself before.
Red Hot Chili Peppers. Here's the thing, man. There's only 2 rappers, maybe 3, that could do it at this point.
I don't think no rapper could do it by themselves, and it will be
Kanye,
entertaining.
Nah, I mean,
Kanye
Kanye
could
could-
definitely,
Kanye could
absolutely.
do it.
Yeah,
By
Kanye could
himself
do
and
it.
entertaining?
Yes. Yes.
But that's never happening.
And the show, despite him being an absolute wackadoo, the show would be incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's really good at events. He's really good at
Those are the best concerts I've ever been to.
So it's he
well,
could
you'll
do
never
it.
see one ever again.
But he
Cherish
got
those moments.
Yeah, that shit is over. But no, he could knock it out.
Maybe
Who
in
else?
Germany.
Maybe Jay.
So
I don't think so.
Maybe Jay.
Jay would need a
like
bunch
performance?
of
It have to be
collabs.
Jay-Z and Friends.
it's got to be Jay-Z and Friends.
Yeah, it'd have to be Jay-Z
So
and Friends.
you know who could absolutely kill it, and they only have 2 songs, so it wouldn't matter.
And Eminem. We said Eminem.
Yeah, of course. No, but this is not rap. This is Wonderwall. What's the band called?
If you got to say what's the band called,
No,
then
you'll know it immediately. Today's gonna be the day when we're gonna send it back to you. By now, you should have
Green Day?
somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now.
Yeah, that ain't gonna do it.
No. So they have 2 songs that the entire stadium will be singing at the same time, regardless of
So it
how
gotta be a
old you
collaboration?
are. No. And then they could have other people with them. But what you need is sing-along.
Yeah.
And Kendrick don't really got sing-alongs.
Well, also
He doesn't have universal sing-alongs.
I want to ask you this as a
Bruno got sing-alongs.
I want to ask you this as a performer.
Yeah.
I think that when you do the Super Bowl, you don't play to the crowd in the stadium.
So this is something.
I think you're playing the TV.
So this is something that I've thought about. When you're doing a Super Bowl, you're not doing your show. You're a guest. You're doing a guest spot on someone else's show.
Yeah.
You're doing.
I'm here for football, motherfucker.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So there's 2 ways you could go about that. There's certain people who go, I don't care about that show. You guys asked me to be here. I don't care who's there. I do my thing. I do my thing for my fans, and that's great too. Then there's other people who go, as a guest, I'm going to try to entertain these people to the best of my ability. If you're a DJ and you're DJing a fucking bar mitzvah or you're DJing some Coachella, like your set might be a little different, depending, right? I think the people that are most successful are the ones that recognize they're doing a guest spot on a bigger thing, and they find a way to appeal those people. Now, does that mean that they're being inauthentic, or does that mean that they're not being true to themselves? Maybe you can make that criticism, but if you're playing your music, you're not being inauthentic.
Yeah. I also think that, honestly...
But it's not your show.
It's not your show.
It's the Super Bowl, and you're the guest.
I honestly think we're all wrong, though.
Okay.
And the reason I think that we're all wrong is because the numbers say otherwise. If it was so boring or if it was so whack or whatever people want to say, there would have been some type of tune-out. It's the highest viewed Super Bowl ever. And you don't have to watch the halftime show.
We're not wrong in what we feel. You're never wrong.
No, you're not wrong in what you feel. But clearly,
clearly there are people that enjoyed it.
A mass amount of people. Because not only is it the highest viewed show, his album, GNX, is about to be #1 again on the charts. Not with no 80,000, 90,000, 230. That's first week numbers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie.
That's right. And he got the top 3 songs coming out on the Billboard Top 10 on Friday. So, by the way, I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? My only critique is that I wish that the set list was different. That was my only critique. Start off with high energy. When people are telling me that they felt like it started off slow, I totally get it. And I feel like it was just too much Drake.